And welcome to the Royal Rumble SmackDown preview. I'm Adam Wilbourn from WhatCulture, joined by Michael Hamflett from WhatCulture, here to look ahead to this weekend's Royal Rumble SmackDown tonight. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube.
That's not the noise. Come on, see it through.
Well, your daily wrestling podcast, not only SmackDown, of course, but Monday Night Raw, NXT, the show formerly known as NXT 2.0. AEW Dynamite, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, a roundup of the week, complete with a bloody good quiz, of course, on WrestleCulture. As said, though, joined by Hamflett to look ahead to the Royal Rumble this weekend. SmackDown tonight. Let's get the SmackDown preview portion out of the way. The only thing advertised for SmackDown tonight, thanks, Nicholas, is a face-to-face between Drew and Sami.
Lazy, isn't it? This could have knocked a card out. They're going to be...
They probably will by the time this podcast goes out, but still, yeah.
Yeah. Sami Zayn wants to win the title. Drew doesn't want to lose the title. What's going to happen?
Yes.
Imagine that.
Which way will this crowd lean?
Yeah, exactly. Sami Zayn gets to say, yes, you've beaten me 11 times, but everybody knows the phrase 12-time lucky. And I've had the home field advantage last week, and I feel like I've got it again tomorrow. Drew, it was your dream to be WWE champion in a big stadium environment, but I've got some terrible news for you. You're only going to get to live it once because I'm going to take the belt off you.
Yeah.
At long last, I'm going to, I missed on a stadium event last year as well. It was called WrestleMania. I'm not going to let that happen again this time around. I'm going to walk into that show as the WWE champion.
We might as well just dive straight into that title match to start with, really.
Yeah.
I don't know. I literally did a version of this with Murray the other day with regards to predictions or speculation, stuff like that. And I actually think this whole card is the most unpredictable Rumble card ever. No hyperbole.
There's no getting around it.
Hyperbole? How do you say it?
Yeah. There's no getting around this one. This card is bad ace. If you're an AEW fan primarily, but somebody who watches WWE or keeps up with these podcasts to keep up with the WWE, you won't be able to. Well, you can't, in good faith, ignore the interesting and unpredictable booking of the two singles matches. The Royal Rumble definitionally is unpredictable, even if Triple H's record of booking them is not that strong.
It's like from the last 10 minutes.
Well, he knows his way around a finale, I suppose, yeah. But the fact that you've got 30 cases of not knowing what's coming next, they've not even announced the number 1 or number 30 or done little gimmicks to set up some numbers. So if nothing else, the fact that you don't know who's coming, and outside of the 17 each per match?
That's right.
That allows for 13 surprise entrants as well. Again, after the time this podcast's gone out, they could stick a few more on the official list, but you never go into a Rumble these days without 5 spare spaces at a minimum that are up for speculation. Yeah. So in terms of putting a Rumble card together, I can't think of a better way they could have done this. We talked about if CM Punk was going to be on the card, but they weren't going to land on an unpredictable CM Punk match. They just weren't. I really enjoyed the AJ Styles TV match, and I just loved the Finn Balor one.
Yeah. But clearly they did as well.
Yeah. But neither of them were unpredictable in terms of the result. They were just enjoyable to watch happen. So you weren't going to get him defending his title in any way that felt unpredictable. Likewise, Jade Cargill could squash somebody, but they're not taking the belt off Jade Cargill at this point in the calendar. There were various other additions that you could have put on this card, and by not doing so, you've made every single thing you're going to have to sit through 15 minutes of adverts for seem more exciting than the last.
Yeah.
There's no way.
It's almost a throwaway. We talk every year about how you could put kind of any old match on alongside this because no one usually is tuning in for those matches.
Mm-hmm.
They're a bit of a foregone conclusion, and the headline's going to be taken by people winning the Rumble or returning in the Rumble or arriving in the Rumble, whatever.
Yeah.
Not this time.
There are 4 matches that could go on last on a 4-match card.
Yes.
The thing about the Women's Rumble is that historically, well, really since probably 2018, the first one, where it really was given sort of pride of place on the show, right? It was the first. it's never been booked well enough in the run-up. I know Rumbles, in theory, book themselves, but, as we've seen many years, you do need a build. You need the idea. We've got fun speculation here because there's no obvious winner in either match, but, there's a difference between completely, ignoring a Rumble and doing sort of empty speculation stuff. Outside of, I would say, Becky Lynch winning in 2019, which was very much more of a how than anything. It's hang on, she's on the undercard. How do they put her in the match? And then WWE say, well, the worst way possible. She wins it anyway, but it becomes more about how is Becky Lynch going to get in rather than if she's going to win it. I don't think they've done a good job with booking these women's Rumbles at all. But this year, because the division is strong, because the field is strong, because the tag division has been so impressive the last few months, you've got this quantity of very interesting candidates to win, not to mention a pretty significant return one would expect.
Yes.
That doesn't just return as oh great, she's back. She returns as she's going to win it.
Yeah.
They've found themselves with a really nice arrangement of wrestlers that could win it. And that subsequently could justify its place on last, couldn't it?
Yeah.
You could easily put this one on last because you know who you think is the surprise number 30, or you know who is the potential winner of this. That would be a great way for the show to go off the air. This one, we'll just get to it. I guess, Bianca Belair, we're going to talk about a match in a second. Bianca Belair winning a Rumble has been a strong enough visual for WWE to lean on in the past. She's main evented a WrestleMania off the back of winning a Rumble in the past. You could easily see them ending the show with this, and that's taking into account the 3 massive matches that would come before it. It's a very, very exciting card, this.
Yeah, I think the women's
sports washing works. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Sports washing works. Here we are sitting previewing the show. I'm just going to own up to the hypocrisy of it. This card is excellent. We've gone X minutes into this podcast before bringing it up. We always try to touch upon it. CM Punk made the job substantially easier the last time we were covering a Saudi Arabia show, because that in itself became the story. And inadvertently, for the first time in a while, actually forced the sports washing not to work. A reminder, the reason these shows exist is because it was all about the rebranding and rebadging of Saudi Arabia into a dream tourist destination with various sports and entertainment events taking place. WWE were key to the success of that, to the point where now we are talking about the second biggest show of the year taking place there, ahead of next year talking about the biggest show that's going to take place. And this card, and I'm saying that as somebody that will be on the Royal Rumble stream tomorrow. I'm saying it on somebody that's previewing it now, excited about it, and will be excited presumably to review it tomorrow. It's the thing you can't get away from. It's the thing you can touch on, but does it really make a difference? I think everybody that is excited about this will tune in with all those same caveats and almost the apologetic nature in tone, followed by the show's good, isn't it? The show's exciting. So we'll get that one out the way early so that we haven't just waved it away entirely. But that's the motivation to make a card this exciting, is because they want people to wave it away. They want people to come away. The first thoughts of the Rumble not to be, I've engaged in that practice that is absolutely working again, and instead just be like, Christ, I'm ready for WrestleMania. Yeah. That's the goal of this, you know?
I believe Women's Royal Rumble is the least likely to main event, but I agree exactly with what you're saying in terms of the hype for all of these matches. I think probably the Women's Royal Rumble opens, but we'll get to that. It'd be very interesting, I suppose, with the placement of the Drew McIntyre Sami Zayn match, whether that influences what you think happens.
I don't know if I'm going to break your heart here, but I have just accepted a reality where Sami Zayn can't win since Monday's Raw, where it appeared Gunther wasn't going to be in the Rumble. I found it easier to map out a scenario that Sami Zayn becomes WWE champion in the event where Gunther enters the Rumble. But in light of Raw, where it did feel like Saturday will be a single issue night for Gunther, and the King of Spoil Style, Shinsuke Nakamura's heartfelt goodbye to AJ Styles, it has increasingly felt like that match will go one way.
Yeah.
And if it does, I can't see Gunther entering the Rumble. And my main raison d'etre for Gunther being in the Rumble was in order to give Sami Zayn the perfect WrestleMania match.
Yeah.
So all of those things, and I like that. It means that we're back to sort of overlapping, and there's the kind of booking you want out of WWE. But without that, you kind of take that piece away. It's like, Drew probably wins this.
Yeah.
They have kept Drew in the Cody Jacob verse. They have got Drew as this guy that has now got to take on all of those challenges they've set up on SmackDown and is scared of 3/4 of them, to then lift the belt off him at the first attempt seems unlikely. Yeah. I was hoping against hope for Sami because of a bigger picture. And as you've often talked about, the perfect running. Like you, I think, had him winning the Rumble all these years in Saudi Arabia. And then all of a sudden it's looked like, they've created it. They've created yet again the way for Sami Zayn to get, when you didn't have it against Roman Reigns at Elimination Chamber 23, they've come up with the next best thing, which is him winning it in Saudi Arabia. And I sense now a lot of people have gone, you know what the next best thing is? Next year's WrestleMania.
Yes.
And it's another year where Sami Zayn has to kind of like grit his teeth a little bit and be like, what's the real quiz? Yeah. Are we definitely going to get to this? Because there always seems to be a reason why I can't win, but at some point you've got to belt me up, otherwise I'm a lying babyface.
All the evidence, like you say, points that. I think, the Styles domino has crashed into a lot of my predictions that I made 2 days ago, maybe. The podcast only came out yesterday, I believe, of me and Andy giving our predictions for everything. Some of those are going to change, but I'm not changing, despite everything pointing to the opposite and despite my head screaming at me, it's not going to happen, Adam. Like you say, next year or at some point, maybe he walks into WrestleMania next year as champion. Regardless, I'm going Sami Zayn wins the WWE Championship. Who's he face at WrestleMania? I kind of agree now with, especially what's come out of the last couple of days, that Gunther probably doesn't win the Rumble, and that's who I literally had a day ago as, like you say, this to this to this makes all the sense in the world. But bollocks to it. We'll work out who Sami faces down the line. Sami Zayn, WWE Champion tomorrow.
Taking Gunther out of the equation entirely and just isolating the prediction around Sami and Drew, here's something for you and anybody else that really wants Sami Zayn to win this. WWE might have belted Drew up and then dropped a load of red herrings with the express purpose of putting it on Sami Zayn. This would be
it's such a quick turnaround. Sami's been number one contender, or will be by the time the match starts, for 7 days.
But this is Common or Garden transitional champion booking.
Yeah.
You take the title off your top babyface and put it on a heel because you don't want your other babyface to beat that top babyface. That goes all the way back to like 70s Fed safety booking of like a Bruno Sammartino right through to like Hogan beating the Sheik instead of beating Bob Backlund. You know, like this is how it was done. Diesel beating Bob Backlund instead of Bret the Hitman Hart. There are countless examples because that made all the sense in the world, because you almost never did babyface, and they absolutely had to. Why divide the audience, you know? So it could just be proper old school Triple H thinking, well, we want to get the belt on Sami, but we need a heel. And Drew being like, I'll effing get it. You know, like they've been able to set up Drew as this guy that looks like he now has this brand new kingdom on SmackDown, only to find it completely ripped away from by Sami Zayn a month later, and he's got something else to fume. You know, the idea that this character could no longer justifiably fume. All of a sudden, he can be like, "It's happened again!" Like it's not out the realms of possibility that this whole thing existed for Sami Zayn to win the title.
Yeah, it's a long shot, and there will be people who say, "Well, if it's not Gunther, what are you going to do? You got what, 2.5 months? To figure something out." I'm not suggesting Kevin Owens is coming back or anything like that.
And remember, right, wrestling's a work. So spoiler, like Sami winning the belt doesn't suddenly like shock everybody in the writer's room. What? Sami Zayn, how did he beat Drew? 6'5". How's he beating Drew McIntyre? Like, if they've planned for Drew to win the belt in order for Sami to win the belt, odds are they've probably got a good idea of who they'd want Sami to fight at WrestleMania.
Even if their top pick doesn't work or whatever, it's not difficult. Sami Zayn is a babyface against almost if, I'm not saying this is my pick, but if Cody wins the Rumble, Sami Zayn's the babyface.
Yeah. Well,
the lead babyface, I suppose, in that.
As we've said as we kind of alluded to, and this does feed into like the Rumble predictions and why it's so exciting this year. This is not to denigrate Sami Zayn in any way, but we are sort of staring down the barrel of a WrestleMania that might not need titles in the main events should certain people make certain calls.
Oh my God.
I don't mean...
Goes against everything that our fans probably stand for. What are we talking about? Well, I'm a Dwayne guy.
I don't mean to keep saying this just to sound like we're kind of fan casting it, but if you are doing night 2 Rock and Roman, night 1 Austin Miz, then...
Oh my God.
Hoorah! Then you really don't need titles in the picture, do you? Austin Punk is the obvious one, but even then, you don't need the title in the picture. No. So this could be a bit of especially for a Triple H booked WrestleMania, this could be a little bit of a free hit in that regard. The champions can be Big deals, but not the biggest.
And also at the same time, all the noise coming out right now around The Rock, and people feel a certain kind of way about that. And I know things can change very quickly. All the noises appear to be. This is arguably Triple H's first run and WrestleMania without outside interference. You had the spectre of Vince for 39, 40 was the best ever, obviously. Dwayne was involved, 41. Again, The Rock sort of involved, but then not. And then the whole John Cena thing. So, yeah, if he could be quite easily saying, okay, what else we do? I don't even care if it main events or not, but Sami is carrying that time. I will say, though, then again, I've very much gone from Drew McIntyre, a potential Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes, and Jacob for 2 triple threat. Gone from a bit to after Saturday night's main event, big brawl.
Was strong, and you know you've got at least one more, well, one proper Cody Rhodes, Jacob Fatu match to do, really. Presumably before WrestleMania. I would be very surprised if that singles match was something they felt they could hold on to until WrestleMania itself, and it was just a straight singles match, no title, whatever. Something else to consider about this Rumble as well. Like
Rhodes and Jacob in the chamber would be.
Yeah, you want to look at that, don't you? There is if you think about it now, WWE will often see the pay-per-view as needing that one surprise almost as a necessity. They've become reliant on it to a fault, really, because not all of them deliver, and often it becomes at the expense of what you actually want to book. But they quite like that, the kind of the screen with all the streamers' reactions on. Like, we're doing a stream on Saturday, expect to not see our faces on Raw on Monday, but like all the streamers that
they used us for Joe's Rumble entrance.
Did they?
Me and Phil, yeah.
Oh, that's good. I didn't realise.
Not at the time, I think, but certainly when they had like the Joe hype package on NXT.
It's normally the only ones that they've clearly paid to care more about the bad booking. Like they've got like more neon.
Well, I think they just don't want to expose journalists as compared to like social media people.
You've cracked that case, as a good journalist would. Yeah, they like that. It's one thing to book a win away. Like Jey Uso winning the Rumble, where you're like, oh my God, but he was an entrant in the match.
Yes.
It's quite another. Again, I'm pulling a name out here on purpose because it's preposterous, really. Stone Cold Steve Austin entering number 30 and stunning his way to WrestleMania. That's the one where people's eyes are. But again, we have lived that life with the likes of CM Punk's return or Cody Rhodes revealing his bruised titty or whatever. But that's that. They like that specific reaction by design now. Sometimes just to do it, So there could be that. This pay-per-view, this show could end with this thing that we don't even talk about here because a wrestler wasn't in the picture, a name wasn't even a possibility. So Sami Zayn winning the title in the main event runs that pretty close, doesn't it? Because you can visualize so many things, but it's still very hard to visualize
what I'm saying about
holding the belt aloft.
The most unpredictable one ever, because Drew or Sami winning, I think I assume it happens before the men's Rumble, for example. Sometimes that a title match will happen, you go it's Roman or it's Cody or it's whoever.
Becky Lynch versus Piper Niven when the WrestleMania sign went on fire.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But it won't influence predictions for later on. You're probably right, but we can dream.
Yeah.
Right, well, let's talk about AJ Styles then. His career is on the line against Gunther. There's noise everywhere from Shinsuke's message, obviously following that match at Saturday night's main event, to the weird way they've maybe started wording things regarding effectively the Michelle McCool. AJ Styles retires from WWE, with people talking about him still having a list of people he wants to wrestle. I think he even said on Raw, maybe, I've got a locker room if people I still want to face.
Yeah.
There's the weirdly common now, what trademarks have been applied for, because he's trying to trademark AJ Styles and the P1 logo. People are like, well, I think it's going past Saturday.
Yeah.
Might not be in WWE anymore. It's wild, this. And I said to Andy on the news today, it's like, still don't rule out AJ Styles retiring from WWE and working Mania. Like, you could do a TNA title match or whatever at WrestleMania, for example, which skirts around it perhaps. But I don't know. How are you feeling heading into this?
I'm feeling good. This is a well thought out shoot and a sophisticated work all at the same time. AJ Styles, I am fully prepared to believe, is as good as done with WWE. But it's kind of, as we were talking about earlier in the podcast, it's about the how and the when of it all. That's the drama here. You know, he could just as easily end up doing a full year like John Cena did, despite having us in January thinking that he's done. You know, one is just as likely as the other. Myself and Sidge did a Q&A podcast that will drop over the weekend where somebody asked about him specifically moving to AEW. And the more we talked about it, it's one of the things, the more we kind of both, like by the end of the conversation, we'd already kind of rebooked the main event of All In at Wembley.
Wow.
Around like AJ Styles being in it, you know, or how viable that suddenly was. It didn't take much for your mind's eye to summon that as a prospect.
It's mouth-watering, the prospect of the people he could work with. Ospreay is the obvious one, but
and it'd still be a retirement run.
Yeah.
You know? Gets his trademarks, could be as much for an 8x10 at WrestleCon as it is to wrestle somewhere else. It's perfect. Everything is possible, which is what makes the result of this match so fascinating. The fact that WWE and TNA have got this relationship means that AJ Styles could effectively still be with WWE, but just happen to be working under the TNA umbrella, you know, and do a few dates with them, have the Kazarian match he fancies, have the kind of Leon Slater dream match as long as Leon Slater's still even in TNA. Like, it's just there are so many possibilities, but it's why I think Gunther wins, because I think the next interesting chapter of the story is the one where AJ is not in WWE, and I think they have leaned in to a lot of people's fantasy booking the moment Gunther tapped out John Cena. Nobody was pretending like they had a hot take, were they, when they Cena and Goldberg? I can spot a little pattern here. Everybody was like, oh yeah, there's that. 100-foot high letters. Nobody wants Brock Lesnar to be here, so it's easy to fantasy book him having a retirement match. So he gets
badass could actually get rid of someone we all despise.
Exactly right. So all of a sudden, myself included, and you have sort of rationalised this. Yeah, well, let's have a look at Gunther and Brock, because it gets rid of him, as if like a storyline stipulation needs to be adhered to. But it's like, that will get rid of him though. And then like,
outside of when he goes to like Austria and Germany, the deafening cheers for Gunther at WrestleMania. Come on, you can do it, big lad.
Get him, you know. So I think he wins. I agree. I think Gunther wins. I think while I speak every match into the main event slot, I'm starting to think this goes on last.
Wow.
I'm starting to think they go Rumble, title match, Rumble, Styles Gunther.
Okay.
And they, just like they did with Saturday Night's main event, let you sort of live with AJ's emotional farewell, Gunther, almost like the one bites the dust kind of thing. And you bring Gunther out on Raw in much the same way he learns no lessons. He once again comes out to a lot of heat, to a lot of drama, and he's like, you know what I saw a lot of the weekend? A lot of people pointing at the WrestleMania sign. Well, I don't need to do that to get my spot, because let's just find some like old fart that like wants one last big dance, and I'll give them it and then send them packing like all the rest. Like they are really they doubled down on the Gunther character, like just for this AJ Styles feud to even exist. The idea that he became this pariah in the locker room is how he found himself in AJ Styles' orbit, and then he was a red bastard in the match itself. He's loving this. Yeah. He's loving being like, what bad karma is acting like it's brought to Gunther's door so far? Absolutely none. It's a great character. It's a pivot, really. It's a bit of a shift for Gunther, because it's just one more thing he's added to his repertoire within WWE. He knows how to be a long-standing Killer World Champion. He knows how to be the guy that can actually take a loss at the worst possible moment and then have to do something awful to rebound from it, like retire a legend or slap a commentator about. Like, you know, he's now this like pantomime heel, but somebody that with one little shift of a facial expression gets deadly serious and tells somebody, yeah, we're all having a good laugh here, but you realise what I'm actually doing. I'm ending careers.
He's the heel Cody, isn't he? He's so versatile.
Yeah. He is, yeah, exactly that. He's exactly that. He carries a broadcast because you slot him in anywhere, and it's bigger for his presence in it.
Like, I know Triple H obviously been a fan for a long time, but like, I don't think even in his wildest dreams would he have thought that he'd just have that.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, my guy can do anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you look at Triple H's guys. You mentioned about the Rock always interfering, and it's like all these power players have their guys, don't they? And like you can see that Triple H leads from the front with Cody and Punk and Gunther. There are just certain names, Rhea Ripley, that he just relies on to be like. He mentions it in Unreal about Io Sky, like she'd be like his number 1 draft pick if he had to start all over again, that kind of thing. Like he doesn't really shy away from the people he wants pushing, but then invariably, because he's there, he's like the 24/7, 365 guy. He bases it on the ones that give him the most on a more frequent basis. So I can't, other than the, as we keep going back to, other than the scenario in which he goes in the Rumble, I can't visualize the Gunther defeat in any capacity, let alone.
It's a good night for Gunther in whatever way I look at this, because if he loses to AJ Styles, he wins the Rumble for me, which is what I predicted the other day. I'm not doing that now. I agree. I think now all signs point to, and all evidence and all trademarks now point to AJ Styles, which I kind of have gone from, oh, no, I don't want him to retire there, to, oh, okay, it's a retirement. And it's still a retirement, like you say, in 2026, but the possibility of, like, we could see him in some mad match over WrestleMania weekend, for example, or the chance to see him. I've loved the last few weeks and months in WWE, but the chance to see him in AEW, reuniting with his best mate in and you can either take that as The Undertaker or almost, I don't care. Doing stuff in TNA. Andy's talking about, some mad Japanese matches that he could have or anything like that. I think that's genuinely why I will be willing Gunther to win this. How do you think they do it, though?
Well, the tap out seems likely, doesn't it? Maybe Gunther this time, he's in the calf crusher and you see the hand go to the same spot where he knows he can get away with it. But this time the referee is wise to it and he sprints around to watch for Gunther's like spare hand, as it were. And then because he sprints around there, Gunther taps the canvas this time with his other hand.
Okay.
And the ref misses that. So again, AJ's gotten, not again. So he tries to slap back on and then like Gunther traps him in the sleeper and AJ's tap is legit and AJ's tap is caught out. Something like that. I
was thinking maybe, we cream ourselves about the Roman Reigns kick out.
Yeah.
Cock punch combo. What if, as he recognised that the referee's going round and somehow low blows AJ Styles?
I like that because I don't mind. That's why I was like wanting to come up with a nasty element to it, because I don't mind Gunther adding just a bit of cheating or a bit of.
But I think you could just have a clean one.
Well, the sleeper, Triple H likes his patterns and he likes things that he thinks everybody just like. If there's one last person in row Z that hasn't yet gotten it, Gunther having the sleeper as a killer move, in part because it was it kind of symbolizes realistically his biggest defeat, the Jey Uso loss, and how he had to reclaim the title, and how he's used the sleeper and embraced it as this killed me, so I've got to make it mine. That's how he puts out John Cena. Did he beat Goldberg with it as well? I feel like he did submit Goldberg.
Yes.
That's very Triple H to just have that follow, because what he's thinking of is the moment at WrestleMania when Gunther either gets caught like he did against Jey Uso or he catches somebody, and how the audience descend upon that moment, how the entire stadium leans in and waits for a tap or waits for somebody breaking out of it, they've got it with that. I can't let, I like, because it's AJ, if you want to be kind to a legend, I quite like the idea of Gunther like hitting a powerbomb before the sleeper, so he's as good as knocked out and the ref has to just like drop the hand.
Yeah.
I don't mind
that works.
It's just as effective.
Will AJ hit a Styles Clash on Gunther? Can he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
The near fall is going to be red hot for that.
Just to make things interesting, because I don't want to just sit here.
Oh, sorry. Lion Salt, backflip DDT. All the AJ stuff that he never does anymore because he's smart and he doesn't just like throw everything to every match. Now, I want this to look like TNA 2002. Every single spot you've ever done, please, AJ. Yeah. Like I want a spiral tap. Like he just cannot beat him. You can actually build it into the match. Yeah. I've got to use.
That's why I think it can be clean and it's
springboard
not
450. Yeah. Like all of it is like, how can I not keep this guy down?
But I think the same applies to Gunther, just to make things interesting, because I think you've probably got it spot on, to be honest. So instead, I'll say that Gunther's hitting AJ with everything. And I love the lore of like, I don't really normally do this. I mean, he does, obviously, but think we'll have to go top rope for this. Big splash, power bomb, like you say, power bomb, sleeper, etc., etc. None of it's getting it done. So Gunther hits a phenomenal forearm to get the 1, 2, 3.
Excellent. Oh, AJ is going to go through all the Cena stuff as well, or Gunther will. You're going to see 5 knuckle shuffles and attitude adjustments.
That'd be a great setup for a calf crusher, by the way. Gunther being too cocky.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
Oh, my God.
But again, it's nice how they've built this in.
Let's turn our attention now to the Women's Royal Rumble. Only doing this because I think we agree on the winner, and I sense the men's one is a coin flip, a 30-sided coin flip, perhaps. Maybe not 30 sides, but still. The Women's Royal Rumble, to do it completely backwards, you and I both are aligned in thinking that Bianca Belair returns, fingers crossed with the hand injury and stuff as well.
Well, don't cross your fingers if you've still got it in your hand.
Returns, possibly at 30, or I think there's more conversation about the men's 30 that we'll get to. But Bianca returns to win the Royal Rumble. Her second Rumble win, would that make her the only the second woman to win 2?
No, Charlotte did it as well.
So her and Charlotte.
Oh, sorry, second.
Yeah. I think it writes itself of like, we all know that it's Jade's there. Unless you're doing Jordan Grace, if Bianca's.
Well, I was wondering about this, right? Because I think I'm with you. Yeah, the Bianca Belair is a really good, again, what we talked about. You want the big surprise, you want the big streamers moment for the fans in the audience, get this unannounced. I know that wasn't she included in a list somewhere where it's like, it's going to be pretty hard to avoid spoilers because everybody's got to get on these charter flights. That's why we think we know that a certain somebody's coming back in a male match. And there's
a list here for a certain Bianca B. No, that's too obvious.
Yeah.
A Miss B. Belair. There was a photo I saw from someone being like, guys, check it out if you look in the background there. That's Nikki Bella. Yeah, she's been on Raw.
She's on the main roster. But yeah, it's, they're trying to keep some things a secret, and she is currently one, I guess, technically. Could she be such a secret that she's not there? Because a last-minute thought...
So secretive.
A last-minute thought popped into my head about this. Would she not make for an awesome runner-up in the Royal Rumble who then has to go through the chamber with Jade Cargill thinking, you wouldn't challenge me. You know what I do in the other you wouldn't, like, they've got the lore of the fact that she was trapped in the chamber last year as Jade destroyed the big 3 forever. I was right to.
Yes.
To get a revenge on Naomi. But Bianca can even say, I was in that pod last year watching you at your most destructive.
I just think that WWE won't go, 2 years in a row, Bianca wins the chamber.
I know.
But I 100% can see where you're coming from.
It's a nice detail for there.
I just think it's easier, this, of just like, maybe even Jade Cargill buddies up to Bianca. If she wins the Rumble, for example, being like, Stephanie McIntyre's not going to know what's hit her or whoever.
That, right? I'll tell you why I love that.
And then you can have a thumbs up.
Oh my God.
That's why I love that. I've been compiling the 50 greatest Raw moments ever for a long boy list, soon to appear at whatculture.com/WWE.
Are these the 50 greatest or just Michael Hamflett's favourite? Because I think they'd probably be slightly different.
What's the difference?
I mean, I'd be in full agreement with your picks, by the way.
I did put in the intro, no tank. We've all had enough tank. I didn't even include it in the 50.
It's not a tank, is it?
It's not a tank, mate.
So Hill will die on.
Oh, if only they'd left the gate open. Then what? You'd have got in the building and some security would have kicked you out, or Haku would have beat you up. Oh no, Road Dogg's in the building.
Tapping on the door. Well, don't open it.
Yeah. They might have been a bit worried about China and Billy Gunn's quite tall. Otherwise, I don't sense the roster would have a huge problem dealing with this.
Mr. Steiner, there's some people here to see you.
Mr. Steiner, Road Dogg's wearing leaves on a fake army hat. And he says you're rubbish. The point I was going to make was the Batista Triple H Ric Flair thing shouldn't work for so many reasons. Number one, it's 2005. The Fed's terrible. Number two, after months of the subtle for wrestling build of Dave Batista, showing that one day he could be quite a good actor by picking his spots when it comes to when to look at the belt, when to kind of look a bit cross with Triple H, when to hold back a bit, The reveal, in order so that we can have the dramatic irony and that we can be with Dave in the ring and Triple H and Ric Flair are the last people to know that their plan isn't going to work, is the funniest, lamest stuff. Like, months and months and months of Triple H and Ric Flair being like, we actually know we need to worry about him. Like, the fans think we know. And then when they do their, the evil plan of evilness is almost complete. We've got one last evil step in this evil plan, and then Batista, that thick mug, is going to wrestle JBL. Like, in an open-doored office with 6 invisible cameras.
It looks great on the video package.
Of Batista.
If you take more than 5 seconds. Wait a second.
Hang on. Yeah. It's the first time, and it's at the worst possible time to do it.
There's also the clip where he's just like, picks up the title. I've never considered this before.
Yeah. Like,
you need to have a word with Dave. So he says something like that.
On Raw. Why? Like, they just can't help themselves. But nonetheless, and so in spite of all of that, it's absolutely goated when he splashes it, when he Batista bombs into that table. Table goes into a million pieces. You've delivered physicality. You've done idiot plot payoff, and it's still awesome. So to that point, if you want to do that with Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, I'm totally there for it, because there's no better babyface than Bianca Belair for that particular like show of power. Like the KOD through a contract signing table. When Jade's being like, we're both going to be all the belts, but at the end of the show, it's going to be perfect, isn't it? Is it?
Yeah.
And she somehow like fashioned her hair to be a thumb up and a thumbs down. And then she just...
Well, she said, I've still got a problem with my hand, actually. I won't stop doing this.
Perfection.
So most people, I think, are believing that it's Bianca. If not Bianca, then who?
Can I have the lineup? From the 17.
The 17 names we already know.
I'll tell you what. I'll do a yes, no. Read them out. We'll do yes, no, maybe.
I don't know. Can you repeat the question? Just funny that it's like announced on Raw, announced on SmackDown, and then one name, Maxime Dupri, announced on a shot of brandy. What? Yeah, apparently.
Is the shot of brandy still on?
So, just in order of, I've got it on this Wikipedia page. Io Sky.
No.
Rhea Ripley.
Maybe.
Roxanne Perez.
Maybe.
Not this year, I think. Me and Andy were sort of.
Well, but she was the Iron Woman and runner-up last year.
Watch me. Liv Morgan.
Yes.
100%. Raquel Rodriguez. You've already got a title shot.
Yeah, no.
Bailey.
No.
Lyra Valkyria.
No.
Asuka.
No.
But nobody's ready for Asuka. Chelsea Green.
Yes.
Chelsea Green is a
everything on Unreal.
Outside shot, yeah.
Everything on WWE Unreal is a choice. All of it. And to even drop that scene where the writer goes, what if she just came in and there was nobody left? Like, somebody at one point or other has thought, in the writer's room, this could work. And then somebody else has thought, broadcasting this could work. You've just created something.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, absolutely yes.
Jordan Grace?
Yes.
I agree.
It's not. The thing is, yes, she's just been called up, but the Rumble is where she's already shone. This is actually where she should be at her most comfortable main roster-wise.
And I do feel maybe just this year, I'm not saying she's not going to win it in the future because she deserves to exactly for what she's already done, even before she was properly here.
Mm-hmm.
I think she might be the nearly woman to Jade Cargill who can basically be like, no woman is as strong as me and no woman is as good as me. Oh, wait, here's Bianca Belair. Let's do an assault course like they did that we loved.
Oh, yes, please. This WrestleMania gets better and better.
Charlotte Flair.
No.
Alexa Bliss.
No.
Nia Jax.
Maybe. Like, again, this is the Jey Uso precedent that gets set.
That's why I was going to say Lash Legend.
No, but I would.
Yes.
Yeah. This is the point of putting somebody over once in a while that shouldn't win but then does.
Julia.
No.
Maxine Dupri.
God, no.
Becky Lynch.
No.
Because, well, we'll talk about her now, actually.
Yeah.
Because one of our surprises that we think is going to happen is...
AJ Lee.
Eliminating her, setting up their title match at WrestleMania. I agree completely.
It's... sometimes, just because something's, the right way to do things, it might scan as boring. They had something really hot with those two. AJ Lee's had the measure of her. They even credited AJ Lee for, was it Maxine Dupri's win as well? Yeah.
It
wasn't just Natalia's training, was it? If anything, Natalia was training her into defeat, and it was AJ Lee's advice that was helping her win. It's a proper WrestleMania match, that. Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee for a title.
Yeah.
For better and worse with the end quality of the actual match, they've been super patient with how they've used AJ Lee. They drew a couple of houses out of it. She's not lost any of her specialness, I wouldn't say, yet. that time will
She
come.
got a huge pop when that music hits on Saturday. Yeah,
that time will come where she doesn't feel as big a deal anymore. But I don't think it's yet.
I'll tell you who is another decent shout.
Oh, hang on, sorry, AJ Lee in the customized outfits that the women have to wear. Just Chuck Taylor's all the way at the top.
I like that.
All the way from the bottom. Laces. Pink ones. Like Ryan from the Cribs.
Said she looks like Chuck Taylor.
No, God, I would never pitch Chuck Taylor on a Royal Rumble preview other than to talk about AJ Lee's shoes or the Cribs.
But yeah, outside shout again, in terms of surprise, Tiffany Stratton.
Will be in the Rumble, I would expect, but not to win, no.
I think she's got a shout. Have her come back. If all plans are all different, who knows?
She's somebody that could win a chamber, isn't she?
Yeah.
If they wanted to put her back at the top of the card.
It's Liv for me. It's either Bianca or Liv.
Tiffany Stratton versus Stephanie Vaquet. That's... I was just going to say you want to look at that, but then...
from NXT.
Another classic.
Bianca, Jade. All of them. All
come from the Star Factory.
Surprises, who else you got? Because I've got a fairly obvious one. It's a long shot, but will not surprise anyone.
Go on.
Iconic!
Both of them.
One after another.
Yeah.
All the same entrant, I don't care.
Somebody chucks them straight out.
No.
Oh.
Win the whole thing.
All right, okay.
Co-winners like Lex and Brett.
You want to pop right in the Rumble? Have theme songs not been a big part of the problem of where some of the pops have been diffused over recent years? Well, let me answer that problem for you. I'm going to answer two problems with one sting. Massive pop. Doesn't matter what she does. She's rubbish. Nia Jax can throw her out for all time 6. So we'll get Lana in there.
You think that Paige's her chances are dwindling?
I don't know with Paige. Like,
she was meant to apparently be working some, like Comic-Con, whatever it is, some expo, whatever it is. And genuinely, for other reasons, for some double booking reasons, that's been moved now. So it could be one of those ones where they genuinely didn't plan to have her on, and then suddenly the stars have aligned. Maybe.
If there was ever because wasn't there a lot of that sort of discussion around the last year's Evolution pay-per-view, and then there was follow-up reports that said something along the lines of she was never really in consideration.
Yeah,
this is a far easier context for them to kind of bring her back in a very non-committal way.
Yeah.
You're still paying to fly somebody out to Saudi Arabia, I suppose, but ultimately it's for a payday. If you look at the Greatest Royal Rumble, how many people had to get over there for that? I've got somebody that at this point doesn't really feel like a surprise, but somebody that will mean a great deal to me if indeed she enters. When you talk, of course, of the Star Factory down in Orlando, Florida, and the history of NXT champions making their way into the match.
Yeah.
Oh, she's called. It's not Fallon Henley. Although I do think she got called up. It's who's the NXT?
It's not Lainey Reid, is it?
Not Lainey Reid, no. What's the NXT champion called?
JC Jane.
No. Having a big night. Like, eliminate a few people. Iron Woman, maybe.
Kendall Gray eliminates her?
Yes. Love it. Love that.
I think Sol and Lola might be in there as well. Sol Ruka.
Yeah, Sol
Ruka's nailed on.
Sol Ruka's in there. They as good as confirmed as much on Tuesday when they decided to rush through Zaria's heel turn over the course of one night.
Over the course of one non-appearance by Sol Ruka. Where could she possibly be?
She's basically Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty, that bitch in the space of one episode.
Yeah.
So I would expect JC Jane and Sol Ruka as definite. And I love Kendall Gray eliminating JC Jane. Maybe
Kendall's
don't.
another one of those ones a bit like Jordan Grace a few years ago. Don't make everyone look bad though.
I'm going to flip that then. JC Jane comes in maybe in the first 7 or 8, eliminates somebody, V-triggers somebody, gets over what it is that she's really good at currently. Kendall Gray is next. Who knows what kind of pop they're going to get their NXT wrestlers, but the commentators put it over as they're having a real issue in NXT at the moment. Kendall Gray then eliminates JC Jane for the big moment and then has a long run.
Final four for me if she's in.
Uses the match to get herself over. It's not for today, but it's for down the road.
Trish.
If you want.
Feels...
Like if it's a payday.
Doesn't even have to set anything up for Mania for me.
No. Just had did that completely forgotten now because of the nature of the show. She teamed with Tiffany Stratton at Elimination Chamber last year. It was weird, wasn't it? That was that. They didn't follow it on to WrestleMania. Trish didn't have a match or a story or anything. So, yeah, why not? Likewise, Lita.
Yes.
She worked like a kind of under the radar and underrated little run with Becky Lynch. Do you remember?
Yeah.
That culminated, I think, in a Saudi show for the title. So, yeah, her as well.
Right, let's talk Men's Royal Rumble.
Sorry, I'm just getting some breaking news here, if you would like it.
Excuse me, what?
Always. Wilbourn probably knows it.
Unfortunately, it's got nothing to do with wrestling. Would you like to do a little football tangent?
Oh, yes, please. This has got to be big. Hang on. Very quick soccer tangent.
The Champions League knockout playoff. Have been revealed. Would you like to hear some of the notables?
Yes, please. So, if people are unaware, so is this just your playoff bit?
Just the playoff.
So the top
round.
8 go through to like the latter stages, but the teams between like 9th and I think like 23rd or something will draw it's seeded, but will draw each other. Newcastle's in there.
Getting too deep on this. It's just an extra round before the round of 16. That's the best way.
Is there any other teams other than Newcastle from the Premier League in this
no,
selection?
No, everybody else got through.
I have one notable.
And Benfica have to happen.
I care. I'm not even going to pretend to care. Nah, I don't care.
You love their goalkeeper.
I like seeing a goalkeeper score a goal, but it wasn't. Mark Poom scored one once.
Well, it's funny you say that, gentlemen, because you're going to get another chance to see it again, because Benfica have drawn Real Madrid again. In the playoff. That's legitimately happened. That's why I thought it would be worth bringing up.
Wow.
Benfica were like
so they scored against.
Was that the fixture?
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice law.
Came back to haunt Real Madrid.
I can respect some STST.
That was mostly why I was most excited to bring it up. But Newcastle have been drawn against Karabakh, which is a team in Azerbaijan. So that'll be a fun bit of travel.
Did you beat them?
Yeah, no, but we will, I would assume.
Somebody hammer them.
Liverpool beat them 6-0.
Who've Bodo Glimt got?
Bodo Glimt have got Inter Milan.
Oh my God.
I'll just run the rest of these down and then you can get back to it. Monaco have got PSG in an all-French playoff. Galatasaray versus Juventus.
Jesus Christ. Don't go to that as a neutral. Bloody hell.
Club Brugge versus Atletico Madrid. Borussia Dortmund versus Atlanta. And Olympiacos versus Bayern Leverkusen.
You bloody love the Champions League, don't you? It's been a real comeback for you this season.
I think the new
Actually, no,
format's
you like
awesome.
the old ones as well, don't you?
Yeah, but I think this new format kicks ass. It's one of the few good things about new football when it went woke. Right, let's talk about the Men's Royal Rumble.
We need to end the tangent first, of course.
Sorry,
I don't make the rules. I hate the rules, but I don't make them.
That's the end of this soccer tangent.
Sorry, everyone. Back to your regularly scheduled
I haven't even got
program.
time, I've realised, on this preview to talk about how
Oh my God.
Everest is on Gladiators. But trust me, when we find time next week, we will.
Rumbleton Saturday night's main event have really kind of got in the way of some important telly talk. But there's BBC, the hits keep coming. So not only have we got more Gladiators events to talk about, possibly the unveiling of another new event this week, TBC.
Right.
You're joking. Not another one?
Possibly. Yeah, there is at least, I'm sure they said there's going to be 3 new events this season.
I agree.
I also watched last season, the first episode of this season of The Apprentice last night, which you haven't seen yet.
No.
So we'll be caught up on that by the time we get there, because The Apprentice has realised that it is no longer water cooler conversation, that it has fallen behind both the Traitors and Gladiators, Double Traits Gladiators, in this BBC Super January deal. And it is fighting back. This is a very uncharacteristic episode 1 for a number of reasons. And they're like, all right, okay. Like, it doesn't nail it either. It doesn't stick the landing entirely.
Okay.
But there's enough stuff going on where you're like, all right, Apprentice, I kind of admire this. I admire you trying to get
You're admired.
Perfect.
Okay.
Do you know, they have added, you're welcome, by the way, the BBC. It's not The Apprentice Aftershock or whatever Dara O'Brien or whatever used to present.
What is it?
It's now much like Uncloaked, like a podcast setting.
Lovely.
3 people on comfy chairs talking about BBC television.
Where could they got that idea from?
Where could they have realised what success story that would be? Eh?
Right, Men's Royal Rumble. I want to save your pick of the winner till the end because, well, mainly I stole your pick for 1 and 2 for our video with Andy Murray, so I'm going to let you take it from here as to who it should be.
1 and 2?
Yeah.
Totally forgotten.
Well, I think number 1, you said should be the greatest theme in wrestling right now.
Oh,
Kit Wilson. Out he comes. You're all bloody toxic. You're toxic. Hello, Saudi Arabia. Bloody hell, I hate toxic people. There's going to be 29 others in this Rumble. Send the first one out so that I can kick their like a whip ass. Dun, dun, ooh. Dun, dun, ooh. Obafemi number 2. I thought that was incredible, that shout.
I'd forgotten I even had that shout. I mean, obviously, it must come up with so many a day. It's, for me, right, I know that you get your entrance in the Rumble now, often at the expense of the quality of the match. But it's not just the entrance that Obafemi will obviously be able to bring to the table. It's the idea that not only do you get the entrance, which is something that everybody loves and can immediately get on board with, if you've never seen him before, that is key. Like, you can't just assume that because we watch NXT religiously every week, or even Saturday night's main event, that there will be this, like, everybody coming around getting excited over Obafemi. WWE have done the video package job. It's the most basic and effective of hype deals where it's like, oh, he monsters people. I get it. Right? I immediately get it. But in Kit Wilson, my big concern could be addressed quite early with Obafemi. I've got this real worry about, it's not just because of his height, because he's almost like, it's a weird thing to say about Obafemi. He's deceptively small. What I mean by that is that when you actually put him in there with someone like a Cody Rhodes, who you don't consider to be this giant, you're like, oh God, wrestlers are big. Wrestlers are big people. So Obafemi, like, might look in there like he's a kind of Great Khali type monster. He's not. In reality, he's a really big, stacked and jacked guy, but height-wise and sometimes like how he carries himself, it's accidentally easy for some wrestlers to sort of normalize him by comparison.
His build height, I love, is still 6'6".
Can't be, can he?
Got the old lifts going on.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, it's a work.
He's probably 6'3", big like that's a big boy.
It's a work, right? If you Kit Wilson, just widen your stance.
Yeah.
It's really easy to like do the old tricks and just make them look massive.
By his pearls so he can't run away.
Fling him around by his pearls. Chuck him out.
Can I piggyback off this idea?
Of course.
Obafemi does the Brock Lesnar run.
Yeah, exactly where I was going.
Stopped by Brock Lesnar. Not saying he eliminates Oba, but
like you get quite a few people coming out. Like it's, I mean,
9 consecutive eliminations or whatever.
It's called the Diesel Run for a reason. It made a star, you know. It's like, if you have Obafemi, just chuck him out straight away. It's like, oh, we think we've all had a good laugh with this. But then all of a sudden, 4 more wrestlers have been cast aside. You've got an Obafemi over straight away. You've created the first story of the match. I love the 2010 Royal Rumble. Shout out to my bestie, Matt Rains, who on my recommendation went back and watched it. And even somebody like him that isn't, I don't want to speak for him, doesn't necessarily love some of the trappings of World Wrestling Entertainment.
That's fair.
Loved the 2010 Royal Rumble. It's not just the virtuoso performance of Shawn Michaels as the guy desperate to win. It's the fact that like CM Punk commands the first portion of it by like trying to get everybody on side before the kick is out. You know, it's the game Triple H that comes out and deals with that little mess.
Thank goodness.
But like that's what becomes the sort of the story of the first third of the match is how good Punk is at trying to like command the ring and own the stage and all the rest of it. And you can do that. You can split the Rumble up into little chapters so that when we're reviewing the match, not just on Saturday night, early hours of Sunday morning with a kind of instant reaction thing, but also in the review in the days afterwards and in the kind of weeks when we're talking about Raw and how effective was the Rumble.
Well, I suppose then you'd be talking about all the fallout from the Royal Rumble, wouldn't you?
Definitely. I'd certainly say that so not to confuse the viewers and listeners. The Rumble itself actually leaves an imprint in the mind's eye. You've got
so often I just look and go, I can't remember what happened there.
You've got the Obafemi section. You've got like, say, like the last 5 or 6 wrestlers left because it's full of all the stars. You've got somebody being able to dominate when the ring's busy, somebody that does the Deadwood clearing spot, all that kind of stuff. You want the Rumble to have these little chapter points. It means that you remember them more, and thus the attempt to get stars over is more effective. Obafemi should be seen as one of the, like, you want to look at a Rumble as having a series of goals and objectives, and Obafemi should be one of the biggest ones.
What was the erection section of your school dance? Like, what was the go-to song? Like 2 Become 1 or something?
I never went to them because I was scared.
Because I was too cool, probably out smoking or something.
The polar opposites, sir. We didn't really have many of them, as it happened, but they definitely would have been taking place on Friday night, and I was Raw Nitro, mate, so I would have got school dances.
This, sir, is the dance.
Yeah, this is the. You know what my erection section was? 2 hours of it. So I had the longest erection, if anything, and it ain't made of plastic. Says a lot.
Can I pitch something to you?
Please.
What
was your erection section song?
I think I was trying to remember. That's why I said I think it's like it must have been around the. Oh, was there like an S Club, Natural or something?
Baby, loving you comes easily to me.
Rachel doing it as well.
Yeah, good video.
Oh my God.
Our school didn't have dances, but there was like a concert hall one in Filey that I also wouldn't attend. Clash with Raw and Nitro when I was scared.
Double.
Scared. And then like proms and stuff like arrived on the scene a bit after I'd left school. That was a bit of a later addition.
Never been prom king, have you?
Can you believe it? No.
Some of us have.
Didn't have prom. So.
Yeah, people just felt sorry for me.
You were the tallest.
So I'll give you this. Okay, I'll give you eat your vegetable, right? And I'll give you some crisps.
What's my literal and figurative vegetable here? What's the literal veg? Pick a veg.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna pick. You have to pick some. Oh, by the way, when did we do the veg chat?
Last week, I think.
Was it last Friday?
I think it was the preview.
Yeah. Well, veg got its own back on me because I nearly sliced my finger off trying to chop a sweet potato over the weekend.
It's been.
So I got to say, I love all vegetables.
We have cut finger law on the podcast this week.
We do. Me and you.
Nicholas, we got the old double middle finger ski. Nicholas has yet to injure a finger.
Yeah.
But the studio feels cursed because I had like some sort of like, I don't know, I think a hangnail hanging off my cuticle or something. I picked it too far and then it bled everywhere. And I was like, I did, man. I had to like stick plaster on it, whatever. And then I can't quite remember what happened, but we walked into the work kitchen to find Michael Sidgwick grappling with two separate plasters that he couldn't put on his own finger.
He cut his finger trying to use a knife to open a lolly.
That was it, yeah.
Stabbed himself. Congratulations, you just stabbed yourself.
And then because of
it wasn't even a good lolly, it was like apple, he said.
Oh, yeah. Using a knife to open a and like he couldn't quite get the plaster on, could he? So when he put the plaster on, he was unhappy with it, and he had to put a second plaster on to hold the first plaster in place. But I bet the lolly was worth it.
So your vegetable here is a Brussels sprout.
Great
for you.
No,
it's a Brussels. What's your version of Brussels sprout then?
Pickled anything.
Okay.
Pickled cabbage.
Pickled cabbage, because the news today is Mr. Iguana is being considered. Did you swear they or just mouth it?
I think I just mouthed it. Go on in the Rumble. How much power's Taker getting here?
If he's ever getting in the Rumble, it's this year, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, right. I just had to say that so it's out there.
I've had my pickled vegetables.
And I think it's either him or Joe. I don't think you have both. The Rumble's full, mate.
Yeah.
I really, really, really like the idea of, and this is not wishing ill on any person, no matter if they're a deadbeat dad or not. I like the idea of Rey Mysterio's music hits and his son comes out.
Yeah.
I think that's genius.
Do you think the injury was a work? This is unreal. This is what it's done to us all.
Yeah.
But do you think it was a work? Do you think it's to create a moment like that? Or do you think it's to set up an unexpected Rey Mysterio return where they kind of present him like a John Cena type guy where it's like, what? He was...
Maybe.
You know, like... I shouldn't have to question it. Like, the match went to a different finish. Penta had to eat a second spear.
I think not, because I think if it was a work, you'd still have him get beaten down by the Vision. The way that referee was just like, don't touch him.
But then the work doesn't work as a shoot,
Yes,
does it?
granted.
Like, I don't know. I love the Dominic payoff, though, because we don't know what Dominic's current injury situation is, do we? So, like, I love that as a... And it's a nice callback as well.
I like the fact that Finn's like, I'm kind of getting pretty close back into that old title picture.
Yeah.
Dom's like, oh, sorry, I'll have Dom to win.
I'll take it from
do you think...
By the way, Finn Balor taking Ray's spot is just as effective. And again, why it could be a work.
Shout.
Why, like, he's... Like, not only has he just, like, found his way into a match he thought was full, it happens to have happened when he really, really wants to be the number one contender to the world title. So, like, you've got this inbuilt thing with CM Punk as a motivation for Balor to be like, Ray's down. So it's not full anymore, is it, Pierce? I'll take that.
Yes.
And it's like, you can picture Finn Balor taking the bollocking off Liv Morgan and being like, right, I'm going to do two pretty big things about this. Good advice. And he goes and does it.
Do you think Powerhouse Hobbs, whatever he's called, Bryce Remsburg, or whatever his new name is, Rice, something, whatever what was his name I saw?
Don't know.
Royce, something, I don't know. Do you think he's in this?
Royce.
Royce Keys or something. What was his Powerhouse Hobbs?
It's Royce. You've got Royce in there. I can't remember what it is, but
anyway, do you think he shows? I don't think he does.
I
think
don't know. Do they?
Royce Keys.
I had heard Royce Keys. Yeah, that's all right. I don't know. It's really hard to know how WWE fans will react to AEW wrestlers because you've just had every single version of it at this point. That's the nature of the company's been around long enough. You when wrestlers panic about, it was like Becky Lynch was the most recent one that springs to mind on Unreal. She's about to debut as return as a surprise at WrestleMania as Live Valkyria's partner, and she's doing that thing in Gorilla where she's like, are they gonna cheer me? Like Bayley's been beaten up. Are they gonna? You're Becky Lynch.
Yes.
They're going to be buzzing with it. But and I believe her, right?
Yeah,
I believe she's having this. The worst time to have that moment of crippling insecurity is right there in Gorilla waiting to go out. Like, if you're an AEW wrestler, I would get it. I would get the insecurity because not only do you not know if fans are going to recognize or care, you also might have the worry that they could actively resent you because some people would, But then you've had things like Cody's return as the perfect example of how it could go. But then likewise, people have landed in NXT and it's been like, oh, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
There really is every end of the spectrum of these kind of like AEW arrivals. So I'm not sure the Rumble's worth the risk.
No, I just think, and it would be weird because he'd pop up there and then just go to NXT.
And he doesn't win.
No.
So you're immediately putting, I know it's an only elimination rather than a pin, but you're still putting
so many big lads in this match already.
You're put in the position where it's like, oh, nice one. Welcome to the Fed. You're a loser.
But another TK fumble is, of course, Chris Jericho.
God.
Do you think he's number 13 nailed on for me?
Well, it's funny you mentioned my fantasy booking about Kit Wilson and Obafemi because yesterday I was talking to myself thinking he entered second and there's a little bit of fun for Triple H. She was like, longest in the match of all time, have you? Well, stick another 60 on your record, mate. Right, I'm going to eliminate you fourth from last, but you go in the distance.
Yeah.
Welcome home. There's a bit of like sort of instant punishment booking. Everything's fine now. Do the point picture when you're backstage, absolutely sweating half to death, and I just look class in my suit.
I've just been doing push-ups for half an hour.
Yeah. Take my jacket off if you like. All that sort of thing. Yeah, he's coming. I'm dreading it.
I'm not. I'm intrigued again.
Good.
I'm ready to be hurt again, a bit like with the whole Rumble.
I'm not even ready to be hurt again. I just wish he wasn't coming in. I don't think Chris Jericho will necessarily do an awful job. I just don't have a lot of joy in seeing him do a good one. Like, I can already hear... No, I was going to say I could hear Sidgwick. I can hear the movement in the air as he gets to elbow me and be like, oh, it's your problem now. And if you like him, that's even worse.
Yeah.
Because then you look like a raging hypocrite and he's not wrong. Like, I think Jericho will do some fine work in this run, but it's that I resent the most. It's that I'm dreading. It's the point at which, like, if it goes badly, brilliant. He's embarrassing himself on an even bigger stage. Funny, like...
rescind his contract after a Rumble appearance. Well, after that, definitely not signing you.
How funny is that? Like, but there's wrestlers I care about on this roster. Yeah. Less than a couple of years ago. But if they get vortexed...
SmackDown's 3 hours now, mate.
Don't do that to me, right? I'm rooting for that Man United fan to get his hair cut. We didn't make such a bet. We just get to live in the glory of SmackDown having this class run and not have it get spoiled by a Chris Jericho. But if you're trying to will into existence the idea of Chris Jericho versus Matt Cardona in the 3rd hour of a SmackDown in February, that's on you, not on me.
It's all right, February's doing the tour, isn't he? In March at least.
Right, that's marginally better, I suppose.
Can I chuck you a couple of other things that are percolated in the old brain?
Yes, please.
I really like the idea in terms of a celebrity appearance, a returning iShow Speed, eliminating Logan Paul, and then Bron Breakker's music hits.
Love it. Yeah, love that. That's great. That's the best possible outcome if iShow Speed getting speared in half wasn't the best possible outcome. That's the only way to like sort of improve upon that perfection from last year. Love that.
And what another one, I don't think this is going to happen. And I've maybe changed now with the addition of Mr. Iguana. But my pitch was, just looking at the, I'll run you through the names we know in a second.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the names I see that was announced January 23rd on SmackDown is Solo Sikoa. He's obviously got a history with Uncle Howdy. I don't necessarily want to even waste a spot on Uncle Howdy, but I need him to be there for him to, if let's say he does have a spot. 3, 2, 1. Lights down, lights up. Uncle Howdy's there in the rocking chair, and him and Solo continue their never-ending dance.
Well,
wait, because the reason the rocking chair is there is Kofi Kingston gets hoyed over the top rope and lands on the rocking chair.
and rocks a bit and then falls off it anyway.
It disintegrates.
Because he's a heel now.
Yeah.
Well, can I remind me to circle back to Kofi Kingston's spot because we're on more important business of Solo Sikoa here. I think that a Wyatt will enter because the fans get that nice live experience of the Fireflies and all of that. Is it the worst thing if the Wyatts eliminate Solo Sikoa to get the lantern back and then we're done? You say never ending. What if I've just given you an ending? Like, they don't get the tag belts back. That was the real quiz.
Yeah, okay.
So let's use the lantern.
Works for me.
Use the
and
lantern.
Then we don't need to see any more Wyatt Six on television.
If you like. I mean, the
You've got your
MFT,
lantern back. Why don't you piss off?
the MFTs are done with them. So that's like, that's not what we need to concentrate on as a collective. So that's taken care of. Yeah, I think there'll be lantern / Wyatt based stuff, but it's good. I don't actually mind that as a bit of live crowd interaction and as a little sort of, as a fun comedy spot for the Rumble. Solo comes in, mimics like 3 of the people like he's fighting with, maybe chuck somebody out. He's the best. And then the Wyatts get a measure of revenge.
Not to go all Michael Cole, but do you actually think that the Kofi spot could be given to Javon Evans this year?
I think Javon Evans will do something in the match that will actively annoy Kofi Kingston for having to accept that somebody else is bouncier than he ever was. You know,
what if Kofi's been eliminated and he's doubled over for whatever reason, and Javon's ended up on the barricade and he bounces off his back?
I love that.
To land on the apron. Who the hell's that?
Who was it? Do you remember that was a spot once, and it was absolutely badass? And I think it was involving the New Day, but I think it was something to do with Neville as well.
Okay.
Maybe somebody was like lying or like on all fours, and then somebody jumped off their back, but the wrestler that was on all fours very sort of subtly went bing like that.
Boosted him a
Create
bit.
like a sonic spring. I need to remember that. So I want to say it was around 2016, but I can't visualize who was actually in the spot.
Neville sounds about right.
Yeah, but Kofi would be that perfect bing just to help Javon Evans. Like, obviously not help him, but
either that or my other pitch was Xavier Woods wears that giant hat of his, but it's been reinforced with metal on the brim so Kofi can just stand on it.
Nice. That's good. That's good. I've got one for you that I think you'll really like.
Oh.
I used to loathe these spots because they were symbolic of what the Rumble would become, which was absolute. But now it's back. At least it feels like it's not always good, but at least it's like proper and serious and stars and all that. And the comedy is kept to a minimum. And when they do it, it's like, that's nice. Right, back to business. 3, 2, 1. Boom! And Wade Barrett steps up from the and he doesn't
Oh my God.
necessarily take the whole suit off, but the jacket comes off and he makes a big fuss of it, and he gets in the ring and it's a couple of booms, and then somebody sorry, Wade, there we go, just chucks him out. But it's just like that nice little, the commentator gets a spot, finishes the sentence when he gets back to the
Finn Balor wanted to be in this Rumble, but Postman Pierce told him it was full. I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Well, he could do the Jerry Lawler bit, couldn't he? Like, the music hits and Michael Cole is like, what? And then Wade's like, well, I'm afraid. Headset comes off, goes, he gets, I've got some bad news. And he's out.
Works for me. I'd love to see him in there. There is one other name that I just saw Scotty Too Hotty doing his hair like he was in the glory days. I think it's an even longer shot than every year that I pitch this, but
We got Phil on the stream, haven't we? He's going to absolutely lose it if...
me and him, I mean, I'd attempt a worm. I can't even do it, but...
That'd be like me getting like the diesel pop, wouldn't it? Like Nash has just dyed the hair black. And
wife.
I mean, Saudi Rumbles have required big wrestlers kind of out of nowhere before. He's one of the he's 7 foot of backup. He's one of the biggest.
Right, let's run you through the 17 entrants that we know of at least.
Yeah.
And you can give your takes on whether or not you think they can go all the way here. Mm-hmm. Cody Rhodes?
Maybe. It's weird, right? I buy Cody, like in his promo and in character and in kayfabe and all of that, I buy the Cody Rhodes character winning the Royal Rumble. I can't map it to WrestleMania.
No, and if I like the idea of him and another name, Jacob Fatu, maybe even taking each other out of this match, because unless you're turning Cody heel full on, don't have him win this.
There is the little subtle, come back to Stone Cold Steve Austin, there is a little subtle overlap here of Cody being the only guy since Austin to win 3, and it being like another string to his bow, another thing to say, another thing that kind of like confirms him as the guy that Triple H has made this current era's John Cena, Roman Reigns, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Like if he's fighting for the title, or if he's feuding with The Rock or anything that's like everybody's done a lot of things around here, but can we just stack up the things that I've done? Like, it serves him well when he's a heel. It's something to ride, if he remains a babyface.
Still a part of me, and I think you talked about this in your Q&A as well. Still a part of me holding a candle for Cody wins the Chamber in Chicago and declares to face CM Punk at Mania. It's less and less likely by the day, I think. But
yeah.
Gunther.
Well, he's not announced, is he?
Says it here.
Does it? Well, this changes everything again. If he's in it, yes.
Like he announced, it's one of those ones
he's
where
not my prediction. I've got a prediction, but he's not that.
Jey Uso.
No.
We
all had our fun. We literally all had our fun.
Deadbeat Dad Rey Mysterio.
No.
Dragon Lee.
No.
Penta.
No.
Roman Reigns.
Yes, and that's who I'm predicting. I've gone for the outside shot. I'm backing the little guy. Again, it's about things like legacy and about things to be able to talk about with or without titles. And I know the Rumble gets you.
Won one Rumble?
He won in 2015, and yeah, that's about it. He defended the title at 2016. He's
quite regularly the bridesmaid in Rumbles, isn't he?
It was the trick for a few years. So when the H-ski threw him out and did the like, it was only Ambrose after that, and then like he was a run-up against Randy Orton, and people like it stopped people going, "Hey, Randy Orton," because Roman.
Is there foul examples of this? Drew's another one I just thought of.
Drew in
I feel
2020.
like there's another one.
Shinsuke in 2018.
Wow.
Yeah, he's
rubbish.
He might have. I'm trying to think now. In 2019, it won't have been Seth Rollins eliminating Roman Reigns last. But I cannot for the life. Oh no, he wasn't yet back. He came back after the Royal Rumble.
Braun, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. Was it Braun? Yeah, well, either way, it was.
Maybe I've misremembered that, and I'm thinking of.
But yeah, Roman wasn't.
I've been thinking of the Chamber there.
Back on the scene yet. So, but yeah, they used him a few times in that spot in particular. I think he wins it this year.
Well, hold your horses, because the next entrant is, of course. Never mind that. Solo Sikoa.
Like so often in WWE over the last 6 months or so, Solo won't win, but we, the fans, will.
I think Solo wins this and the Chamber.
I'm changing my prediction.
I've walked in here and I don't know what my pick is. It's not Bron Breakker. Well, it's not Bron Breakker isn't who I want to win it. If you're asking me, do you think he wins? Maybe, probably.
Bron Breakker
wins the Rumble, yeah. I still think that they could just be like, no, I want through with this. I just really like the idea, and I'm not even saying necessarily Seth has to win, has to be involved, but I just like the idea of. I just felt like it felt a little on the nose that Logan Paul's like, don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, we're all gonna make sure Bron Breakker's. It's like you wouldn't say that out loud if I don't know. Anyway, so I might have come around to the winner being Jacob Fatu.
I love it. It would be exactly the sort of winner you'd want for us to be able to talk about on Monday and speculate on the multiple different ways they could go with him. The fact that he's involved in a feud with Cody Rhodes, the fact that he is technically involved in a feud with Drew McIntyre because he just about thinks Drew attacked him, even if he's starting to doubt that a little bit. And now he's got the golden ticket itself to a title match.
The more I think about this, more I'm warming to it.
Yeah.
He wins, declares against Drew.
Yeah.
But the more we sort of, you and I lean into this whole who genuinely took him out for the dental surgery, obviously, shoot had to have. And, like, imagine Drew being like, yeah, you're facing a Jacob Fatu. Oh, and a guy who's managed to politic his way into a triple threat now, Cody Rhodes. You're joking!
Like the corporate Cody stuff that Drew ran with.
They're going to both general managers. Which one of you put him in the match? Well, it's going to be one of you. Disgusting.
Yeah. You
Nice.
could see it, couldn't you?
Yeah.
So basically, a 15-year-old meme
for
about
Cher Lloyd.
Yeah, about somebody leaving such a stinky poo in the toilet without flushing.
Yeah.
Is why you want Jacob Fatu to win the Royal Rumble.
I'm going Jacob Fatu. I've decided because I'm looking at the rest of this. Bron Breakker.
I just can't see it.
No, me neither.
Just can't. Like,
maybe I just don't want to see
Well,
it.
this is it. But then you can. You absolutely can. But that Punk match, you can't.
We all saw it.
Everyone was there. You cannot run that back.
Like
it wasn't a disaster. Let's not overstate this or anything. But it was just so fine and okay that
it just feels weird as well to go Bron, Finn, back to Finn for the Chamber. Like it seems like I agree that they're suggesting back to Bron again.
The Punk thing has worked more for having him have to like, oh God, who's next? Rather than this lot again. Bron Breakker, right? The best possible thing that could happen for Bron Breakker at the Royal Rumble, IMO, is the surprise return, either as an entrant or not, of Seth Rollins.
I agree.
Who hits a stomp and sends them on their way to WrestleMania. Who loses in that scenario? You know, like Seth Rollins is back as a babyface. We can just be like, yeah, you know what, you weren't the top heel, it didn't work. But you're gonna, you know what you love doing and love talking about doing is like making the next set of stars when I'm not around to keep this place going. And Bron Breakker is that guy.
It could be like. Again, Seth, I don't believe a word he says anymore as a result of everything. But imagine, like, if I want to pitch someone arriving here actually with a hoodie. I'm not sure if you've ever seen this before. But imagine if that's Bron speared someone, I don't know who it could be, Roman or whoever, right? And he's just like, Logan's out. Austin Theory, unfortunately, is not in contention. But he's like, go on, up you go. Bronson Reed goes up top and suddenly a hooded figure shoves him off the top rope to eliminate him. Bron Breakker turns around. So you actually can have a brief... So it's not just like, out you go.
Yeah.
It's like he fights and chucks him out or whatever.
Bron realises what's gone on. And yeah, I like that. Yeah. Love the scene army push spot. That's good.
So yeah, Logan Paul.
No.
Bronson Reed.
No.
Austin Theory.
No.
Javon Evans.
No.
Obafemi. If you're not doing Cody and Jacob versus Drew.
Yeah. A bit like what I said before, it should be one of the top goals and objectives going into the show to make sure that Obafemi is good to go immediately after this.
Most eliminations,
Most eliminations or the best and most interesting elimination of the whole match, like who gets him out. Like they could just do like 6 people gang up and chuck him over the top rope and it's like, Obafemi needed all these people to eliminate him and that's fine. I'd like something with a bit more pizzazz than that.
Little quiz question that isn't in the WrestleCulture Royal Rumble quiz today.
Yeah. Who
needed the most people to eliminate them from a Royal Rumble and how many was it?
Big Show in 2004?
I don't think... I just read this somewhere, so it might not be 100% true. No?
No. Diesel in 94?
Definitely not.
Took loads of them, actually. Bloody loads of them. They ain't made of plastic. Let's
see if I can find this.
This is going to be a more recent one. Then. Omos?
No, I think I read somewhere. Now I'm Googling it. I've become less confident that it was Big Daddy V with 9 wrestlers. Possibly with 9 wrestlers having to eliminate him.
That would make sense. There was I think it was 07 where there was a real monster.
08, he was eliminated in 2008 Royal Rumble from Triple H, obviously. I'll look this up. That's where.
It's a nice stat, though.
Maybe I just misremembered. So I don't remember. Yeah, no, it was Viscera. It was Viscera, maybe not as.
Viscera.
Maybe it was Viscera. I don't know, 2007.
Yeah.
Benoit, Punk, Edge, Hardcore Holly, Johnny Nitro, Kevin Thorne, Rob Van Dam, Shawn Michaels, and Shelton Benjamin.
That 2007 Rumble is remembered more fondly in certain parts, certainly mine, for another giant, which was the Great Khali being screamed at by Shawn Michaels to look at the hard camera.
Yes.
That's that same Rumble.
Can't remember who won the 2007 Rumble.
Well, that was the one and only victory for the dead man, not before time. Me and Shawn went 10 minutes. We were better than the whole stinking roster. It's true, actually, as well, yeah.
Final couple of entrants that we know of for the Men's Royal Rumble. Randy Orton.
No. Maybe.
God, no. Not for me.
This is what I'm saying. Sometimes there's a benefit to minimising the importance of the belts at WrestleMania.
That'd be his third Rumble win. Joking.
09, 2017, yeah.
Give it him.
Okay. I like Randy Orton now. I
do, but not to that level.
I like Randy Orton with this strange butcher's offcuts skin of his and funny faces and like 6 times on the table. I'm into a Randy Orton these days.
Yeah, but I don't. In the big 26,
all right,
reaching that status,
yeah,
and getting a title, no,
okay,
not for me, Jeff. And finally, Brock Lesnar.
No. Did you mention Trick Williams?
No, he's not on here. At least
that's insane.
He presumably hadn't declared because he just thought I'll be world champion by the time the Rumble
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
comes around.
Now, like he'll declare on SmackDown, for example.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. I would have him make the final 4 is why.
Ooh.
Like, I want Trick Williams in the final 4. Like,
I haven't mentioned The Miz actually here either.
Hoorah! This keeps happening to The Miz. He's a locker room leader and people should pay him a bit more respect.
Most current roster member with the most Rumble appearances, The Miz.
16?
16.
Topping Kane?
Not
Probably.
quite there. Kane's like 19, I think.
Is he?
Something.
And they took Kane's consecutive one, I think, so they could fight John Cena in a singles match that didn't have a finish. Yeah.
That happened?
Yeah.
I forgot that.
The Miz wasn't he on course? He was kind of creeping up on Chris Jericho's longevity record as well, wasn't he?
Probably,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, it's, again, I think old Gameski will do something about that.
It was just when I saw the 2007 Rumble, he was in it for 7 seconds.
7 seconds, The Miz. That was when he was still wearing his big baggy shorts and his chick magnet t-shirt with a magnet near it.
That's what he needs to bring back the good times. Yeah.
And then the hoorah.
And the gloves.
Yeah.
Fingerless gloves.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I genuinely, I will go into this with a completely open mind, in terms of who wins.
Yeah, it's
the only way I might be sweated is if Gunther loses earlier on in the card.
Mm-hmm. I think
I think maybe he wins it.
We're kind of to top and tail this with the same point, really. The fact that you can't even necessarily lay out the order of the card and how that can have an impact on the Rumbles really puts over all of it. All of it. I am so excited for the show. I will once again go in for the umpteenth year in a row with the hope that this is the year they get the Rumbles right. Like, it's even when the match stinks, you get 30 opportunities to count, and who doesn't love that? Like, there's 60 possible, like, pops that become one of your favorites of the year, most memorable of the year. Like, there is so much to love, even if it just fails in nailing the intricacies in the way that Pat Patterson used to do on his best day that like WWE could still do, even in some of the lean years. Like, but I hope that this is the year that at least one of them, you come away being like, that's the match I actually remember from this era.
Whatever happens, we'll have a good time on our live stream on the WhatCulture Wrestling YouTube channel. If you go there right now, in fact, you can set yourself a reminder. I think 6 p.m. UK time is when we're planning on going live.
It's been a while.
British Shenanigans on the old pre-show, and then, I think the proper show starts 7 p.m. for us. So do join us for that one, and let us know your picks for everything here, not just the Royal Rumble, which is rare to be saying that on one of these shows, either in the comment section or on X at WhatCulture WWE, where you can follow all three of us, sort of. You can follow Michael Hamflett at...
HamflettX@gmail.com. I'm also on Cameo, but it's been a lean month at the Dragon House in that regard.
You can follow our brilliant producer, Adam Nicholas, at...
It's Adam Nicholas.
And you can follow me at Adam Wilbourn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE, as I said. And make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcast from, for daily wrestling podcasts. Hamflett mentioned it a little bit earlier. We're going to be trying to do some sort of immediate reactions pod in the aftermath of the Rumble on Saturday night. Huh?
Some bollocks or other.
Yeah, we'll jump on it. It'll be a bit off cut and see what happens. But we will, of course, doing a live Royal Rumble review live on YouTube on live. Have I mentioned that? on Monday. So do join us for that one. And there's a Rumble-themed wrestle culture coming away a little bit later on today as well. But for now, it's been the Royal Rumble preview My thanks to Michael Hamflett, to Adam Nicholas. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.